Hey guys, welcome to my channel. For today's video, I am going to be trying out the Juvia's Place Mauves palette. This is relatively new. It came out a few months ago, I believe, and they came out with this one. There was a taupes one and I believe a pinks one as well. I was looking at the pink one. I forget what it's called. It's called something else, but I know it says pink in it. And I really liked that one, but I thought the mauve one would be really nice for the fall time. It is still like the shades with the pinks and the purples that I like, but a little bit more fall. I am very excited to try out this mauve palette today. I did do a review on the Juvia's Place Nomad palette. I'll link that up above and down below in case you're interested in watching that. But before we get into it, if you are new here, hello, my name is Emily, or MEG, whatever you want to call me. I do both beauty and fashion related content on my channel, so if that sounds interesting to you, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Let's go ahead and get into our palette. All right guys, I'm now a little bit closer to you. I did go ahead, fill my brows in. I also primed my eyes with the e.l.f. Putty Eye Primer. So we're gonna go ahead and get into it. I'm just gonna swatch the two shimmer shades that are in here just so you guys can see it. I'm not gonna swatch the mattes because honestly, they probably won't look very good anyways. So here is the one shimmer shade that's a little bit lighter, a little bit more glittery. And then we have the other one here that's more of like a berry shimmery color. So they look nice and pretty. I am excited to get into them. I'm gonna try to use all 6 shades. I mean, I think I'll be able to. Also, I do want to say real quick, I love Juvia's Place packaging. I know that they don't have a mirror and some people don't like that. I don't care. If it has a mirror, it's always a perk for me, but I really like the artwork that they always do on the inside of these palettes. I think they're always so pretty. Anyways, let's just go ahead and get into the palette. So I think the first shade I'm going to go into is going to be this shade, and that's going to be our transition shade. As far as I can see, these do not have a name, so I'm just going to point to what I'm using, which is what I normally do anyways, quite frankly. The reason I like Juvia's Place shadows, generally speaking, is because they're very pigmented without being patchy. Sometimes when you have really pigmented eyeshadows, they can occasionally come out patchy. These do not. That's one of the reasons why I am a huge fan of them. Although this shade is not as pigmented as some of the other shades I've used from them, but that might just be because it is a lighter pink. So we'll see how the rest of the palette does. Okay, I think the next shade I'm going to go into is going to be this really dark shade. This is the darkest shade in the palette. And I'm going to put that right at the outer corner of my eye. Also, sorry if you guys like hear lawn mowing or other things. It's actually nice here today. It's been really cold, but it got nice all of a sudden. So now people are just doing stuff outside, but just letting you guys know if you hear any background noise, that's what it is. So this shade is very dark, which I like. It's like a mauve-y purple tone. It was hard to tell if it was going to be brown or purple, but it's definitely more on the purple side, which I like because I prefer purple generally speaking. And this is the Mauves palette, so it would make sense to make it purple and not brown. I don't know why, but this eye is always harder for me to do. I don't know, maybe because when I do this side, I'm able to angle the brush this way, whereas when I'm doing it this way, I have to like go like this because I'm not left-handed, or whatever it's called whenever you're both. I can't think of the word right now. It begins with an A. All right, we're gonna go into the next shade. This is what I mean when I say that this eye always turns out better than this eye, because you can see this one came down. I'll be able to clean it up when I put the primer on down there, but it's so annoying. I think for the next shade, so I don't know if this light pink shade is going to be light enough to be an inner corner highlight. All right, I'll go ahead and take this one, and this is what's mostly going to go across my lid, I think. And let's just go ahead and do that. I might have to pull from a different palette to do an inner corner highlight, because I don't know if any of those shades are light enough, which is fine. It's not a huge deal. I do prefer when there's a light enough shade to do an inner corner highlight, but that's literally only a 6-pan palette. I do like this color. It's a really pretty like magenta shimmer, which is really, really nice. It looks really pretty. I don't know if you guys can see, but it is just such a pretty color. I really like this. All right, I think now what I'm gonna do is go into the light pink shade, and I'm actually gonna use this right here just to lighten up the eyes a bit. So I'm just using this to kind of lighten up the eyes a little bit, and I'm just putting it sort of in between the outer corner and the lid shade. I think this shade's super pretty. It's got like this like green and like silver reflect in it. It's really, really pretty. it doesn't actually look super pink on the eyes. Maybe if you like really built it up. Just to intensify it a little bit, I'm gonna pick it up with my finger and just put it right there. So the brush is just gonna be to disperse it a little bit so it's not like quite as harsh of a line, but this is really, really pretty looking. All right, so I think the tops of the eyes are done, so I'm gonna go ahead and put the rest of my primer on. Real quickly, I'm just gonna put some eyeliner on before I finish the eye look on the bottom, just because it's easier to do before I put my eyeshadow on. So in case you're wondering, this is the Laura Geller Kojal, I think that's how you say it, Kojal eyeliner in bronze. Okay, so now that this is on, I think I'm gonna dip into this, I guess it's like gonna be a light purple. It looks like a light brown in the pan, but considering this was like more of like a plum, I'm assuming this is gonna kind of have like a purple undertone to it. And I'm just using a small shader brush to do this. This definitely has like a nice purpley undertone to it, which I really like because that's kind of what I was hoping for. This shade is really, really pretty. I don't know if you guys can like see, but it's like a really nice, here, wait. I don't know if you guys can see, but it's a really nice like purpley berry shade. It's really, really pretty. I actually really like this shade underneath. I have one shade left to use in the palette. I'll probably put it here, so let's go ahead and do that. So the last shade I have left to use is this middle one, and this one looks pretty pink. So let's go ahead and put this on. And like I said, this is gonna go right here. So sort of underneath the eye, but closer to the inside of the eye, where like an inner corner highlight would go, which I am gonna put an inner corner highlight on here. I just haven't done that yet. Okay guys, so those are all the shades on my eyes. I think they look really good. They're very pigmented. I am going to inner corner highlight real quick before we do like the close-up with the final look. Be right back. Alright guys, I am back and this is the final look. In case you're wondering what's on my lips, I did use the Kaja lipstick in the shade Lover. And I also aligned it with the Thrive Cosmetics lip liner in the shade Gislin. I still don't know how you say that. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys a zoomed in look at my eye makeup and the look I created with the Juvia's Place palette. Okay guys, so here are the final eyes. Here are the tops of the eyes and the bottom. Overall, I think these shadows performed really well. They performed like how I expected them to perform for a Juvia's Place palette. I really, really like the purple, mauve, and pink shades that they chose for this. I think they're super pretty. In case you're wondering, to highlight, I did use the white highlighter that is in the Laura Sanchez palette. I'll show you guys when I zoom back out. But it's like an iridescent highlighter, and I think it actually went perfectly with this look. So I'm very happy with how everything turned out, and I think that the eye look overall looks really good. So in case you were wondering, it was this highlighter that I was referencing that I used to do the inner corner and the brow bone. All of them were very pigmented. The matte pink shade here, like I said, that one wasn't quite as pigmented as I thought, but I still think it was pretty pigmented, and I did use a fluffier brush. I am pretty pale, so certain shades just might not show up as well on me. I do still like that shade, and I still like the palette. I think this is a really nice, cute little palette. If you're into the mauve tones, the pinks and the purples, I definitely think this is a great one to pick up. This palette was $14. I did pick it up at Ulta. I definitely think it's worth $14. So those are my final thoughts on the palette. I would love to hear what your guys' thoughts down in the comments below are. Have you tried this palette? Have you tried palettes from Juvia's Place? What do you think of their eyeshadow formula? And if you've tried this specific palette, what do you think of it? Let me know what you think of the eye look. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. I think the shadows, like I said, performed fabulously. So let me know all your thoughts and opinions, like I said, down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up before you go, and don't forget to click that subscribe button if you are into beauty and fashion related content. That is all for today, guys. Stay safe, stay healthy, and have a good one. Bye, guys!